All right, boys, another day, another journey. Back on the crew cab here. Cat eye. As you can see, there's a plunger. I'm trying something. I'm gonna see if I can actually get the dents out with a plunger. If not, I'll just take off the door panel, hit it from the back, or get one of those paintless dent repair tools. But I removed that ugly grandpa strip that's on the side, ugly scoop on the hood and everything. So let's make this thing a little bit more presentable. The front, I took off all the zip ties that were up there. I'm gonna put the valance back up. I know it's broken, but I'm gonna try to make it work for a little bit until I can get a better one. And try to see why this thing has a drivability issue. But I just want to make it look presentable so it could stay in my driveway, because it was a kind of an eyesore if you ask me. So this is the right side, as you can tell. This is a dent here, it's a dent there, and a big dent there. I got a suction cup there. If you look at the suction cup, if you really look, I feel like I can persuade it out. So, got that off. I got the ugly grandpa stripe off. I'm gonna get the tire mark off. I'm gonna try to buff this out, so it's gonna look good. Obviously, I'm gonna put rocker slip-ons on there, so that's gonna look a lot better. Took off that ugly fake hood scoop. Gotta buff this out. The hood's in a little bit of a bad shape, so I'll figure out what I can do there. This side is still working on it. It's kind of tough. It's, you know, from 2006. So this side I finished it though, but I still gotta buff it and finish it up. So that's the update as so far. I put some transmission fluid inside the engine bay, in the motor, so I can actually let it run, clean the internals, because you know the old-fashioned engine flush, you throw some transmission fluid in there and it should definitely make a thing. But it looks pretty badass. It's lowered. It's I always like to go higher, but I think I might keep it like this. It has 20s from factory. It was a factory 20s. I might not even switch out the tires. They're still in good shape. They're not even expired. So yeah, let me try to get those dents out, because that looks a little bit horrible. check the fluid back here, because that's a lot of play. If you look carefully, I have a feeling the rear end on this thing is either bad or either the grease up there, but that's a lot of play. But you'll see in the video is the front too. You know, that grease thing. Oh, I could already see fluid coming out, so we're good. All right. But that's black. That is not good. That's black. Dude. Oh no. This might be caked and toast. Alright guys, continuation of the same video from prior. So I'm adding everything on. I'm kind of diagnosing that the rear end is bad. But I'm gonna give it some hope. Yes, the color of the fluid was black and burnt out and all gritty. I'm gonna open up the pumpkin, drain it out. I'm gonna add some 75/90. That's the recommended one that it needs. I'm gonna add 2 of these, but I'm gonna add some heavy duty oil Lucas. We use this in like heavy trucks just so we can dampen the lash inside here if there is too much of a loose lash. I just want to see what it's like. I know I might have to go in and replace the rear end on this thing. I don't mind doing it, but right now I don't want to do it. That being said, for now I want to go ahead and flush this. Then I want to go and take the drive shaft out and do the yoke grease trick on there. But let's get this cover off. Let's do the fluid. Let's inspect the gears inside there, and from there I will verify if this thing really needs a rear end or not. Only because this is a pretty tasky job. A one man can do it, but it is pretty tasky. So I definitely don't feel like putting a rear end right now. So for now, let me just see if maybe the Lucas can bring it back to life. But yeah, I believe it takes 3 quarts, but the Lucas, I just hope, because right there, as you can see, there's a lot of backlash. So no further ado, let me get these housing covers off for the cover, and let me go from there and clean it up, check all the gears, and you guys will be in it with me. Let's see if we need a rear end or if we need just some maintenance on it. Alright guys, so it's the rear end. This is going to conclude this video. Basically, I'm going to show you guys what is wrong. Basically, inside there's like the carrier. Inside the carrier there's like a spline. Yeah, it's going to need a rear end, which is kind of sucky, but I gotta find some help to help me out. But yeah, I'm going to need to put a rear end in this thing. Moral of the story, guys, is don't do burnouts. This doesn't have a trailer hitch. It does have the tow haul package, but it doesn't have a trailer hitch. It never came with one. This truck, right? It's lowered. Pretty obvious. This was like some young kid had it and just wanted to do a bunch of burnouts, because this thing, I know it does some wicked burnouts, trust me. But inside, so first thing first is that is not good. Right? That's one sign. This is another sign. This is obviously broken. This is from the carrier itself. So that's not good. So this whole rear end is just screwed. There's no rebuilding it. Then you look at the corner right here. Yeah, look. That hurted. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother cleaning this up. This is toast. What I'm gonna do is just go to the pick and pull. Damn, that went in my hand. Shit. That is gonna conclude this video. So guys, I found the issue that's wrong with this truck and why it was so cheap and nobody else was bidding with me. Oh well, I'm gonna get this fixed. I got a solid truck, because look at the frame. You know this is clean, bro. This is clean for a cat eye. All there is some rocker panel rust. That's it. So basically, someone just gave up on this truck for no reason. Obviously, this is a main issue. That's the reason why I'm having so much play down there by the yoke, not the yoke, the pinion. So this does make sense. So what I'm gonna have to do is remove the shocks, remove all the brake lines and everything. I'm gonna start pre-soaking these brake lines so I can get it off. Go to the pick and pull and see if I can source one with the same series rear end. I don't even know what this is. I have to look on the side and see what gear ratio this is. It's probably the 373 though. But well, there's our answer. That's the reason why the truck is acting the way it is, and that's the reason why I got it so cheap. So yeah, guys, I'm kind of mad. I'm kind of not mad at the same time. I'm kind of mad that you know, I thought I was gonna get lucky like the Camry, but no. Oh well, it's gonna take some time now. The hardest part is sourcing a good rear end. I don't want to get another rear end. That's gonna be an issue. So well guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, stay tuned for future videos. Now it's time to go do some homework and see what kind of rear end this thing has. If I'm gonna go the junkyard route, which they want $300, or it's gonna be $210 without a core, or I just gonna remanufacture rear end. I'm gonna keep going through this truck, make sure the transmission is good too. If the transmission is messed up also, I am gonna go and put a junkyard one back here. If the transmission is good, I'm gonna go ahead and put a reman back here and pray that the transmission will last me a couple of years. But yeah, this is a truck I want to keep. I'll be honest. You're not gonna find one like this again. It needs a little bit of work, but it's a solid truck. So basically, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, more videos to come. Stay tuned for the next update. I am going to the junkyard pick and pull. I'm going to see the series that this has, because inside the glove box you can get a series number. But I'm glad I went through the diagnosis of the transmission and everything. So I believe I have a solid transmission, and we'll go from there. So there you go, guys. Don't be a parts changer. Diagnose what you're working on, and just verify before you go ahead and change parts, because I was gonna lead it towards a transmission, but ended up being a rear end, and that's a pretty noticeable rear end failure. So thank you guys. Subscribe, like, more videos to come. Stay tuned. Please come back for more, because you guys are gonna like this series. I'm telling you, this truck's not gonna be the same truck when you see it in the next few months. All right, peace out. Deuces.